Hi guys, hey, welcome back to Bus Suck Garage. Me and my son been working on wiring, gauges. For some reason in the old cluster I only have one gauge working, which is the sending unit for the fuel tank. Let me switch you around here. Alright. These three here are not working for some reason. We chased the wires down, checked everything, checked fuses, we grounded them out, checked grounds inside the truck. Still not doing nothing. I can get this one to come and go back. When I get this one hooked up, it goes all the way around. Not exactly sure what's going on, but we mounted the GPS unit inside. The sending unit one's working, and we went for check engine light and high beam light here, and we used an emblem from Square Body to mount these. You can kind of see them. Check engine, high beam. Because when I put this in, I had to cut it out. I did away with the high beam indicator. But now we got some GlowShift gauges. Got three of them. This one's oil pressure. So we're thinking about just mounting them right in that plastic. All three of them. I got all three. And I'm also thinking about taking this one out and mounting it here. I think this plastic's more stronger than this other plastic, but these got glass on them anyway, or plastic. So it don't really need to be behind plastic. This one does because it don't have a face on it when you take it out. So I'm thinking about taking all these out, cutting these out, and getting these where they fit right in there. And then one of them's tinted. Let me show you here. I think it's the temperature. Yeah. The temperature one is a tinted lens. The only reason it's tinted is because the one in my car, the oil pressure gauge in it is tinted. So I'm going to swap out this tinted temperature one for the non-tinted one in my car. And then we got the volts, which I could have went with something else. I know. But these GlowShift gauges I like them. They come with stickers, manuals. They come with the adapters. Well, you got to order them separate, but I made all mine for the Suburban because I was thinking these factory gauges was going to work. So they're not. So we're going to run these, and I'll show you. I'll just go ahead and do a parts open here. They come with a harness for the plug-in, the sensor, and I wanted to say that's the gauge wiring, the lights itself wiring, and this is the sensor wiring. And then it comes with another little bezel, so if you wanted to stick it kind of, I don't know, offset or pointing down or pointing up, but we're going to mount these right in here. Comes with the bracket that goes on the back of the gauge, and the instructions here how to hook it up. So we got three to put in, and that's what we're getting ready to do. So I'm going to get you set up, tear us all apart. I'm going to set this up. I don't want to lose these screws. I know, because you'd be using a battery too, but I'm not. Oh well. Zip this apart. Before I do any cutting, the whole saw bits, I need to see what the bezel covers. Make sure it won't cover up the gauges when you put the bezel on, which is the piece that covers all this up. So, see, I'm thinking about mounting them in this plastic. So, go ahead and pull all this back out. That's mounted into this. Now, we know none of these work. I hope it don't mess up no ground circuits or anything. Because anyone that's only using the factory lights, the sending unit, and the turn signals. It's the only ones that need backlight. We'll find out. Get these out. And see, the GPS one I mounted inside that metal. And there's the old gauge. Been down a little bit last couple of days. Sinuses and everything else. So, just spitballing here. I don't see no issue with us just mounting them to this. I mean, I could take and cut all these up, take the rod out, cut the rivets, and pull this out. But do I really have to? Should I? I don't think I need to. So, alright. Found the bezel. Just kind of see. Alrighty then. So, I don't like it. Let me show you. Alright. I don't like how that looks. So, I feel like I'm dying. Sorry guys, I'm really sorry. Last couple of days has been rough. Feel like crap, but here we go. This will be alright. This will be alright. You can get the gauges in here. I think that's gonna be fine. This I don't like. Don't like how it looks. So I think we'll take it out, pull them out. I think we'll mount it. Take one of these out and mount them inside this and screw it down there. It just looks kind of weird. My garage is a mess right now. Actually got a buddy's truck in here. I'm doing some work too, and we got the wrong parts, so I got stuff scattered everywhere. So I think scratch this. Honestly, I think we just do away with it. I'll just stick them in here. Oh hell, that's gonna be rough to see that. Alright, well, here we go. I think trim these. Just haven't fit inside there. I mean, it's almost there. Why not just snippy snip, fold it over, and see if it works. If not, we fucked it up. See if that works. This is oil pressure. There we go. Now, if we do it that way, do we have clearance? Not much, but we have it. Kind of just set this up here somehow. Yeah, you guys can see it. See this lip? Just cut it out with my Milwaukee. Set her down inside. Now, I know we're not going to need this because I think it's going to put a lot of glare off. You don't really see it that much, and you won't be able to hit the collar button. So, I'll probably cut this off right through here. And it was oil pressure, temperature, volts. I'm doing temp, oil pressure, volts. I think them are more important than to be up top. But just by this setting here, I'm gonna have to pull these studs out. Yeah. With old factory gauges connected in, I'm gonna have to pop them out. I know at least on these two. And this little wall right here, probably gonna have to cut it off where it all fit in there. Yeah. There should be enough room. For this, get ready to bolt up. I don't know why it's so damn long. Cut the fit, I guess. But I don't know. You guys tell me. This is pretty stout until you start cutting on it. It's all sitting down in there. But I think if we run it with this, put it in this, and put it down in there, we're going to be too tall. And then the bezel's going to hit. I'm going to have to shave the bezel down, which probably already going to have to. Let's say. Yeah. We are. It ain't that bad. Just gotta go through here and cut some of this off a little bit so it fits nice. But yeah, I've been rambling on, half dead here today. I think this is the way I'm gonna do it. Put them in this. And then we're going to cut this off in half. I even cut this out. You're not gonna see. I mean, that gauge already got lens on it. I think it's gonna glare off. So I'll take a hole saw bit and cut this out. Cut this and just use the lens for the gas gauge. Alright guys, well, got all the old factory gauges out. That wasn't working. I went and got the tinted one switched out in my car to a non-tinted one. So that's what we got. Them 3 GlowShift sitting in there. I had to break some of the plastic out to get that to set in there. I had to break this little bit right here out on that piece. Still got to take these studs out. They were hitting some of the mountain studs on the back. But put this down. I will be putting this on, but we're cutting this part off and we're cutting the circle out here. Maybe. Might just cut this way. I still think it's not going to go nowhere. But have to shave the back of this bezel off of here to get this to fit, because it's going to leave a gap because of the gauges. They're a little thicker than the stock. But yeah, it's not perfectly lined up. That's the way she's going to look. She ain't going to look bad. But the reason I wanted to cut this plastic, I think there's going to be a lot of glare off this light because these are all LED. This one's not. So I'm going to put some LED bulbs behind here. I'm going to change that. I really don't like how that looks behind the bezel. But now, you can buy clusters like this completely done. Yeah, go right ahead. This is a budget build. I was honestly going to use the factory gauges if they was working. I probably even have factory gauges somewhere in storage. Guys, I want to get the old girl out there going. So I bought 3 gauges. I'm out of my budget, but a complete gauge cluster like this that's set up for LS, ready to rock, you're looking at a couple grand, I think. Don't quote me on that. These 3 gauges, counting this one, were close to $200, maybe less. I don't know. But not without me typing it all out, telling the exact. These 3 I know for sure was like $136 for 3 of them. And then the fittings I bought extra, which I went ahead and did because I'm running their stuff, GlowShift stuff. So these was like $12. This I think was $49. So we're maybe over $200, but still better than buying a whole unit. These change colors by pushing a button too, so I can make them match the GPS one, which we're just going to clear white as best we can. As you can see, it's the colors they turn. But this is what I'm saying about glare. Put this on there, other gauges, plus their lens, plus this lens, there's some glare. So I want to say I could be wrong. It says 2 bolts in it. I'll just cut this whole section off. Alright. Before you guys say, man, you destroyed a good cluster. Yes, I probably did. But I'll show you what I got done. This is it. We got the plastic over top the fuel gauge, fuel, GPS, speedo. We got voltage, temp, oil pressure. I just want to show you guys we got the gauges all done. These are all GlowShift, GPS. I want the original gauge. Got to put some LED bulbs behind it. It was working, why not use it? And we got high beam indicator and a check engine light. I'm going to show you guys how it works. See, they're all working. Oil pressure 10 volts, high beam indicator, of course check engine light, which there ain't no codes, so it's not going to be on. It's pretty good back here. Hey, out here early this morning, doing a little tune-up work. Old Danielle over here. Well, she had a little bit of spit and sputter here and there at low idle. I pulled this engine and trans straight out of another vehicle and it set for a while before I pulled it out. So, never did nothing to it except for put it in Danielle. So, I got the plugs. They're not the greatest. I've seen worse. Some of them are real wet, like they wasn't even firing. We're going back with the old NGKs. I noticed these LS base engines love the TR55s. They run hot and they don't really burn out. But we're going to change oil in it, put a Wix filter on it. Once I pull the plug, drain plug, I got some other oil that was left over from the car. I'm going to kind of flush it, make sure we get everything out of the pan. And this motor came out of a fleet of vans. I want to say like electrician vans that we bought. So I'm going to flush it. It's probably been abused a little bit, but it was low mileage. So we're going to flush it, change the plugs. Thanks guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright guys, here we are going to change oil for the first time in Danielle. As soon as I get set up here. I don't know if you guys can see it, but I tell you what, I had a wrench and I couldn't get this free. See if we can get up this ratchet. Whoever put that on there should have never done it. I'll tell you that. My God, it's in there. Well, I hate to see this oil filter gonna be on here that tight. Course. Ooh. Well. Let's jam her up on there and see what happens. Same thing. Alright. To get wires. Stab a hole in this. Probably what's going to happen. Use a screwdriver to bring it out. Ooh. There we go. Damn CarQuest. We're going back with the good flavor, the Wix.
I'm gonna let this drain a little bit too. Looks awful black. I'm gonna run the transmission a little bit, make sure all the gears work before we flush it and put a new filter in it. But let's get this off. I will have my son come out and do it, but do his second, maybe third oil change. But he went to his buddies. Don't smell like gas or anything. That's good. I don't think it's synthetic. It's getting converted. So we're gonna let that drain a little bit. And we'll get a napkin. Wipe my hand off.
So, while the old girl's draining, we're gonna kind of flush it with maybe a quart. Just make sure we get everything out of the bottom of the pan, if there is anything. So I got some 530 synthetic left over from the car. Now I'm gonna run down through, just make sure we got everything out of the pan. See if I can do this one-handed. It's different brand oil, same weight, synthetic, but I know I'm wasting oil, but just want to make sure ain't no sludge, nothing like that in the bottom of it. Which really the only way to get it all out real good is to pour the pan, and we're not doing that. So I done flushed the oil cooler that we put on it and the cooler lines before we built it. And now you can see the fresh oil kind of mixed with some black oil pouring out. Flush it up a little bit. But had a CarQuest on it. Of course, I use wicks on just about everything. One with old wicks 51042. We're going with the full synthetic high mileage 530 in it. And yeah, should be about 6 quarts. You guys, got the filter on, wicks filter, and please guys, don't tighten them sons of bitches to the moon. I had a hell time getting that one off, and I had a hell time getting the drain pan off, so it's the first time I'm ever changing it. I usually run them up snug by hand and just go a little bit. Drain plug, I run it up till she's snug and just go a little bit. The things ain't gonna come off, but there she is. Now let's get oil in. Alright, I'll get some oil in her. See if I can get you guys to set up here somewhere. I don't know where. Might sit right there. Alright. Old truck ain't don't know what to do now. New engine, new transmission. Well, newer than her, let's just say that. Fluid, tune up, got a cold air intake coming. I got a filter and get trans gasket, all new fluid for the transmission, but I want to make sure overdrive and everything's kicking in. I want to get it hot, up to temp, so we can flush it. And then I'll put all new in it too. So Old girl was a little low on oil. Maybe a quart before I drained it. But I was planning on changing it after I knew it was running right and I got all the gauges right. So I didn't worry about it. Got a couple weeks ready. That's my deadline. Try to get this thing to its first little car show meeting group thing. I want to drive it there. Still got exhaust and bolt the seats down and put the interior back together. So I want to bust my ass this week. See if you guys can see your fire. Drained out. Well, you kind of seen it. He fell off. Let it run there a little bit. Check the dipstick. Gun ran out. He's low too. Thing's running a lot better. Really need to get that mass airflow sensor away from the intake. It really needs to be over here. So she's idled weird. But got oil pressure, volts, temperature's slowly coming up. Just let her run there a minute. I'm gonna shut her back off and check the oil. I'm gonna show you what we got left to do. Alright. We got our wires run here for our USB plugins for the back for the kids. All this wiring, factory wiring that we got running down through here, I am going to move it on both sides. I'm gonna run it right down the center. Okay, then we're gonna tee off side to side to the doors. So with that, wrong button. So with these, we're gonna do the same thing, and that we're all gonna run it right down the middle and get it off the kick panel because I ain't gonna put no dynamat down yet. We're trying to get this up and going. I got the mount built for the computer to be behind the glove box. We gotta zip tie the wiring up. Our gauges are done. Everything's working. Waiting on LED bulbs for the fuel tank. The factory radio works. So now, well, I got everything locked up because she was sitting outside for a while. That's another thing we got to figure out. The left or the right front blinker is not working, and that's the only thing that's not working light-wise. We got all this mess to deal with. Got to put it all back. We're gonna shampoo this back seat. I don't have a cover for it. There's nothing wrong with it. Just needs shampooed. We got all this stuff to take out. Let me get to the other side. We're going to shampoo the front seat too. I got a cover for it. We have a couple things to zip tie under the hood. We got intake tube to put on and filter. And the Bluetooth box and speakers. I think this came from an old van. I don't know. Someone might be able to tell me. But my plan is with this is to put the Bluetooth box in it. So we're not going to waste the factory radio. Factory radio works fine. So just think about putting it upside down. Right up here. Of course, it's going to be farther up. I think. I don't know yet. And put the Bluetooth box in it. And that will run... I can run my phone and everything through it. Then we got the GPS wire and box that goes up on top. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 new speakers. Well, 4 new speakers. I'm gonna put a 5th one there, a small one like that one. And we gotta put the spare tire tub back in, which we can do now. And then we can put the back door back together. I don't have the felt for it yet, or the tailgate I mean. I don't have the felt for it yet. But we got the Rust-Oleum paint to paint the floor and tubs with before we put the wood floor down. The wood floor and dyno mat and putting the new stuff on the door panels will not be done yet. I think that might be a winter project where I can actually clean and take my time on it. Right now I want to drive this thing to work. We got all the top done. We're going to do the bottom of black. We're eventually going to put a rubber mat down. But that's my plan so far. I can't shut the doors all the way because I got the light in there. But we got one more license plate to put down underneath this door. And we got the new chrome molding that goes all the way around. And it goes around the back of the tailgate. And we got bumper bracket on this corner and that corner. And on the front, that corner. I don't know. Might end up cutting the front down yet. Not sure. Thinking about bringing this bumper in like I did the back. Get rid of this gap. But I might not. I might leave it for now and go ahead and put the brackets, tighten everything down. Nothing's tight on the front of the bumper. But yeah, that's what we got so far. And we gotta put the wiper arms and stuff back on. Everything else is working. So we got interior, intake tube, molding, pumpkin cover, and yoke seal. So for fluid, the brakes and everything look all right. Nothing's leaking and they're working. So we're gonna run them. I don't have shocks on it yet. That might not happen before we take it to where we want to for the first show. So my plan is to run some Monroe air shocks for the back because we are going to be hauling a trailer here and there. And I don't want the same bottom mount every time. It's just to help with the hauling. And I'm going to put regular Monroe shocks on the front. Monroe. Damn, I can't even talk. Hell. But yeah. So that's what we got. And that's about it. That's about the gist of it. So I want to say about 2 more weeks of evenings getting this thing done so we can drive her. I didn't film a whole lot of the wiring of the gauges. Guys, I work, come home, eat, do a little bit of work on the Suburban, go coach football, come home, go to sleep, go to work, repeat. So sometimes I forget to hit that little red button there so you guys see what's going on. I just kind of just go at it. We wired all the gauges together to connectors to where it unplugs from the factory harness so I can take it out. So they're all wired up to connectors. So all that unplugs, I can pull it out. But yeah, that's about it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I appreciate every one of you.